Hello, I'm Megan and welcome to the WIMPS CAST. With the announcement on Tuesday of the government's emergency budget plan, this week's WIMPS CAST is all about the money. Yesterday, the new Chancellor of the Exchequer, George Osborne, announced the details of a special emergency budget for the UK. The budget is intended to address the massive economic problems currently facing the UK.
This emergency budget deals decisively with our country's record debts. It pays for the past and it plans for the future.
In his first budget as Chancellor, George Osborne has unveiled the biggest package of tax increases and spending cuts in a generation. In the Commons, Mr Osborne made no apologies for the budget, stressing that it was tough but fair and that he was not going to hide hard choices from the British people.
The biggest change announced in the budget was the increase in the value-added tax, or VAT as it is known. VAT is the tax added to products we buy and will rise from 17.5% to 20% in January. This will cause a price increase of most products except for food and babies' clothing, which remain exempt.
On the 4th of January next year, the main rate of VAT will rise from 17.5% to 20%. This single tax measure will, by the end of the Parliament, generate over £13 billion a year of extra revenues. That is £13 billion we don't have to find from extra spending cuts or income tax rises. I can also give this House a commitment that we will keep everyday essentials such as food and children's clothing, as well as other zero-rated items like newspapers and printed books, exempt from VAT over the course of this Parliament.
The budget also contains substantial spending cuts, including the healthcare budget, which will be reduced by 25% in the next 4 years.
A further way we can ease the pressure on public services is to agree that we need to restrain public sector pay in these difficult times. And we need to do something about the spiralling costs of public sector pensions.
The Conservatives and Lib Dems have backed the budget, claiming the measures announced will help eliminate national debt and put Britain on the road to fiscal recovery. The Labour Party, however, have reacted strongly to the budget, calling it reckless and warning that it may threaten the UK's recovery from the current recession.
Yes, it's his first budget, but it's the same old Tories. Hitting hardest at those who can least afford it and breaking their promises.
Earlier today, we took to the streets to get your reactions to the new budget.
Well, they've announced that they're going to increase VAT, so all prices in shops are going to go up. How do you feel about this?
Well, they've been doing that a lot recently. Over the last couple of years, I've noticed the prices have been going up. Obviously, it's going to affect a lot of people, and plus, I've heard about the cuts and stuff. So, how you're going to give people cuts and then increase the prices is going to, I think, will have a drastic effect.
That's annoying because clothes are way more expensive and Topshop's already expensive enough. So.
Yeah. At the end of the day, whenever the fall in VAT came a little while ago, I don't think it made a huge amount of difference. It depends if it's going to be a long-term thing like the rest of Europe. I mean, whenever we had it at 17.5, that was a lot less than everyone else. George Osborne says it's going to be sort of a temporary measure until things pick up. Whether it is or not, I don't know.
Do you think that they should have increased taxes on cigarettes and alcohol?
It's an easy target, and whenever the new government gets in, they're going to try and make themselves seem a little bit popular. So I don't know. I can understand why they didn't, but I think they maybe should. Yeah,
that isn't right at all. If they're going to increase prices on other stuff, like they should increase prices on the stuff that aren't good for people.
They've said that they're going to cut benefits to the people who are unemployed. How do you feel about this?
Well, it sort of helps the people who are employed as are looking for employment in a fair way. Some people could be sitting about not really doing anything, and it's a bit unfair on the people who are trying, but at the same time, like if they go out and get a job, they're not making much more money than they are if they're getting benefits, so what's the point?
I think that's absolutely ridiculous. That should not be happening. Like, it's not fair, and then people, like, they have no other income, so, and they have families on the support, so I think that's ridiculous. That should not have happened. If anything, this should put a tax on alcohol and cigarettes and give the money to people who need it.
What are your views on the new budget? Tell us on our forum. That's it for now. Stay tuned for more WIMPS news.